Okay, good morning. Welcome to another week. I hope you're all doing well. Okay, so um, second week of, I think this is the first week of May. It's the first week of May. Last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday wasn't actually a full week, so I'm expecting this week to be the first proper week of May, and because of that, I'll be expecting some sort of manipulation this week, and then maybe next week will be the the second proper week of the month. So with that said, I think we might experience manipulation this week. Now, like I said last week, this month is going to be very good. So expect some decent big moves that will happen over the course of this week. Now, Mondays are usually a day that we don't really trade, so I'm not expecting much in terms of price movement today. At the same time, this week we have a lot of high impact news. On Tuesday, we have the unemployment rate and employment change on the New Zealand at 11:45. On Wednesday, we have the fund rate announcement on the dollar index, and at the same time, we have FOMC. And then on Thursday, we have the monetary policy report for GBP and rate announcement for GBP as well. And it looks like there might be a change in the rate for the GBP, the interest rate. They might change it from 4.5 to 4.25. And then on same Thursday at 1:30 we have unemployment claims. Then Friday we have unemployment change and unemployment rate for the Canadian dollar. So it's a lot of high impact news, and as usual with okay, so with that said, let's start with the dollar index and start from the weekly time frame and see what the weekly is likely going to do. So last week we got a beautiful price action. We were expecting price to go and attack previous week high, and we got that. All right, and then after taking out the high, I think I wanted them to trade to this candle's low, but that did not happen. And then we've seen price rejected. Now, from my perspective, that could be it, and then we drop to attack this low here. Okay, that could be it, and then we come and attack this low, or we will come back up one more time to take out the previous week high, and then we will come and attack the low. Now, which one is likely going to happen? Any, because this week is full of high impact news. Based on the daily time frame, we have a volume imbalance and a gap. Okay, so we have a volume imbalance and a gap. So watch 99.37. 99.37 if price closes through that, then we might go down to 98.80. If price closes through the 99.37 level, which is this candle's high, then they will trade somewhere down here and possibly even go lower to 97.92. So the movement to the upside depends on how we trade where we are, and also the fact that the market opened and then we started dropping, that is not a good sign for lower prices, because we should have seen at least a move to attack the high first and then we go lower. So seeing price going lower first, that to me is a sign that they might probably reject inside this fair value gap and then go up to take out the high and then go down. But I am not choosing sides right now. I'm gonna wait for how Monday is gonna end, and then based on how Monday will end, then I'll decide what I'm going to do for the rest of the week. So let's see how today is gonna end, and then we can make a decision going forward. But based on the higher time frame,
the food is ready. The food is ready.
sorry guys. Anyway, today is bank holiday in the UK. My son did not go to school, so he just ran in to tell me mommy said food is ready. So my lunch is ready. I need to go and eat my lunch. Anyway, let's continue. So let's see how today is gonna close, and then we will decide what we're gonna do next. And that will also mean on euro the same thing. From the weekly perspective, right, you can see this is a consolidation here. This is accumulation. So this, in my opinion, it's another accumulation. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, it's another accumulation. So we might, not even might, price should go back up again, probably to somewhere here, or even to this candle's low, the closing price. Okay, so I'm expecting a continuation to the upside on euro. On Friday, I actually highlighted a place where I was going to buy, which was here, but because it was Friday, I was not confident, like, because we didn't have much movement for the rest of the week, hence I left it. Now, since we've started a new week, so the same analysis applies. I would want to see them dip into this fair value gap on euro. That is what I want to see before we continue going up. So watch 1.12640. That is what I want to see, a movement to that level. Then I'll look for a reversal and then we go back up again. Hence, do not do anything between today, tomorrow, and then let's wait till Wednesday, because Wednesday can be the day they might use the news event to manipulate to this area here and then send it up, right? So on the daily, this is how it looks like. Price needs to dip here, and then we look for the rejection to go up. With Friday rejecting previous day's high, price needs to come and attack a previous day's low. Okay, all right, give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry for that. So as I was saying, I want to see them trade down here. Last week, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting Friday to actually trade there, or even Thursday when Thursday was coming down. If they had traded here, then this buy I would have bought it. If price had traded below this low, then I would have bought on Friday, which is when price traded down to OTE on Friday. Okay, I would have bought here, right there, with my stop loss below here. But since we did not take out that low, okay, it came very close to it and then did not take it. So I think that has engineered equal low. So I would want to see them come there, then we reject. That is the only condition that I'm gonna use to buy the euro. Okay, if I'm going to buy without them going for this low, then we need to break above previous week high. All right, and the reason being, if they can go above the previous week high, then price will aim for the 1.15740 level. But until then, we are likely going to take out the previous week low before we go back up. So on the weekly, this candle closed below that, hence we look for the continuation of price delivery to the downside. If we go above that previous week high, then we have a change in the state of delivery, then we can look for higher prices. Okay, British pound, same thing. This one is looking great for a move to attack previous week low, hence I'm interested in British pound actually coming down this week to attack previous week low, this one, and then potentially that. So I like the fact that we're going up on Monday. That's very good. It's looking tantalizing. I like this one for this week. I want to see them dip into that, and then I'll look for a sell to go down. All right. So watch out for GBP USD to drop and attack first this low, which is last week's low. Okay, then maybe they might stretch it to that one. So we are watching somewhere up here to see if we can get a sell to come back down. Now, it does not mean as soon as price gets there, then you sell short. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm expecting price to come down here. Okay, so once we get up there, we will look for confirmations, reasons to confirm that they really indeed want to come back down. And the logic is on the weekly, right? We took out a weekly high, so we need to take out a weekly low. And even if they take that, they can stretch it to this and dip into the fair value gap. And then from the same analysis on euro, this looked like a market maker buy model, so they might scream higher one more time, but they might need to dip inside here first. The only condition that will make me buy is if we trade through this imbalance. So if we close above that imbalance, which is this level, or to be precise, if we close above 1.33803, then I'll look for the buy to continue going up. But as long as we are below that, I'm looking for lower prices, and that is the area they might form the high of the week, or maybe the high midweek, and then we come back down, then we go back up. Okay. Australian dollar, I think this one I've mentioned we are likely going to trade here, and I like the Aussie crosses. I think you are aware of this by now. I like the Aussie crosses because they are going to move the Australian dollar to catch up with what the euro and the GBP has done. Okay, and I think last time we spoke about price moving from here to trade there. Now, this is also interesting because we've just left an area of consolidation with a down candle with a volume imbalance. So definitely this area is a potential level price can trade to. With that said, in terms of entries, I've actually missed it. That was a nice area for an entry for continuation. I'll have to wait for another another one to form. This area is not bad, but I don't like it because it's London session. We have the Asian session here, gap, that can trade through the London and come there, but you can use this for continuation if we pull back to it. If it stops out, then use this one here for the entry. Okay, then you look for same level. That's where we are expecting price to go. Okay, and then like I said, with that, the Aussie pairs will likely also go up. So Aussie CAD, I think we've screamed up away from this consolidation. With Aussie CAD, I'll say wait for today to close, because this one sometimes it can reject and come back down and give up all the gains that is made for the day. So wait for today to close to confirm that we are likely going to continue going up. And I think we can trade up here, somewhere up here. So if today closes bullish, we can wait for a New York fair value gap to form, and then we trade with it. I don't think using this one is a good idea compared to the one on Aussie, which is the Australian dollar. I don't think this one is a good idea. So just leave it alone. Let them form a nice pivot, like something like this. Right, and then you buy the pullback. This one is too much of a straight line. And then Euro Aussie, that's not bad either. I think they're gonna trade somewhere here between Euro Aussie and Pound Aussie. You can trade whichever one you want. Last week was very interesting. I got a nice trade on it. If I zoom in, they've traded through this gap, so we might probably go and attack this low. Okay, we might probably go and attack this low, hence I'm looking for lower prices. And as long as we are below this candle's low, price might trade through and come down here. So we are going to be looking for lower prices. I would like to see today close bearish and then leave this area as a gap. Then between Tuesday, Wednesday, or even tomorrow, dip into it and then drop. That's what I want to see. Okay, so today closing bearish, and then tomorrow or even Wednesday pull back into it, then take out the high of the candle that pulls back into it, and then I'll look for the sell to continue going down. Okay, so that will be an area of distribution. That's what I'm expecting. This gap should serve as an area of distribution. Okay. Let's move on to New Zealand. So New Zealand is also going to continue going up. Last week, I think we spoke about this. We've rejected previous week low. We're gonna attack previous week high. We can trade up here. The draw liquidity currently, as it stands, first level will be up here. 0.6038. That's the level. That's where price is reaching for. And then we might go for the down candles low, the breaker. And it's at an area where we also have a volume imbalance. So from here, then we trade to that one. So this one first. Hence on the daily, we want every single day to keep closing bullish, especially today. Today closing bullish will be good for a buy going into tomorrow. And in terms of buys, I think I like the fact that we've dipped into this fair value gap and then we've rejected this high. So on the H4, that should create a down candle, and that can be used as an entry with your stop below that, and then aim for this as a first objective, and then that. Okay, but maybe during the course of the week it might give another potential trade idea, or for day trade or for scalps, and then we'll look at it. New Zealand CAD, I think this equal high is gonna be taken, and then that one last week rejected previous week low right here, and then dipped into a gap, so we will get continuation to the upside. Today closure will close through this fair value gap, hence we can get a buy to go and attack this equal high, and then potentially that one. So 0.8307 and then 0.83455, those two upside objectives can be targeted for this week. I think that's that for the currencies. Let's look at, lest I forget, the euro pound. I think the euro pound is likely going to drop from the weekly perspective. We need to dip into this gap. Okay, now based on how last week closed, you can see we rejected the previous week low. So two conditions is either we drop down aggressively or we go and attack the previous week high before dropping. Okay, it's either we drop aggressively or go and take out the previous week high before dropping. On the daily, I am subscribing to potentially price going up first before moving down. If we drop, then I'm not interested. I would want to see them go and attack their previous week high first, then we drop. That's the condition that I'm looking for. Okay, so look for the previous week high to be taken, then immediate rejection to come and attack previous week low and dip into 0.84730. Okay, okay, yes, it did, but I think that time of the day price action, that's Sunday, that might be the broker's spread. Okay, it's not the I don't think algorithmically this is registered. Okay, this is the broker spread, so it might not mean anything. I can see what you're saying, but it might not mean anything because that week, okay, it happened at the time that the market has opened, just opened, and that time of the day, we don't actually count the data because the algorithm opens at midnight London on Monday. So this price action to me does not actually count, right? So we might come back down there again. Okay. With that said, let's jump to gold. So gold, last week was another interesting week. Let's remove all this drawing. Let's go to the weekly. So I think gold is similar to the other markets. I think euro and pound reaccumulation, right? So I wanted to see them actually dip into the gap and then continue going up, but it seems that probably might not do it. Let's see how this New York is gonna trade, because where we are now, we are almost going through a volume imbalance, right? But I would want to see them reject it. So this New York session, let's see if price can reject and then start coming back down. Then I'll look for a sell. If we go and close above the weekly high on a daily basis, if we go and close above it on a daily basis, then I'll look for a buy. If not, then I'm still looking for price to dip inside that fair value gap, right? And then we look for the reversal to continue going up. Crude oil. So crude oil gap down overnight, and I had a wonderful trade last week where I shorted here. Yeah, I shorted here during the New York session, and then I got out here. Then I placed a sell limit. I think I spoke about it. I placed a sell limit right above this high, and then I got in, then down, then right in here during the New York session on Friday. I sold short again, and then I left it. Then when the market opened, we gapped down. So I've closed partial of that trade, and I'm expecting them to go and attack this low. So I'll probably look for a sell this week to go and attack this low, and then I'll be done. That's all I'm looking for on this pair, a sell to attack this low. Okay, so look for a sell on crude oil to attack that low. It's a high probability trade because we gapped, or we are gapping. Okay, so it's a strong bearish sentiment on this to go and attack this low. All right, ES. So with ES, I think what I will do is I want to see how today is gonna trade, because I was expecting them not to trade through this volume imbalance, but as you can see where we are now, we've gone through it. And May is a month that usually sees lower prices on indices, so maybe they can dip. Not even maybe, looking at how last month closed, right? We reject the whole month low, so it can come up here. Yeah, it can come up there. Oops. It can come up here and then rejection and then come back down again. So this high, based on how last month closed, is going to be a potential draw, even probably this week. Now when we are dealing with monthly highs and lows, it can take it at any it's not guaranteed it's gonna take it within the week. Okay, when we are dealing with the weekly, then yes, but when we are dealing with the monthly, then it can take it any point in time during the month. So I'm not saying this week is gonna go and attack this high. No, this month will attack this high. Now that means we can trade back down and then go up there, or we can go straight up there. Based on the daily, with this high, okay, and this low, it's important. We don't want them to trade and close below this. If they close below that, then we have to put this to the sidelines for now and then wait for a confirmation to go back up. But this New York session, if they can reject, which I think that might be the case, because we have a nice fair value gap over here, then it's likely gonna continue going up. So from where we are, we should expand up. Hence, I think this is not also bad for a trade today. But first of all, to attack previous week high, okay, let's not get over excited. To attack the previous week high, and then maybe a continuation to that level. Okay, so from where we are, we want to see them trade higher and then take partial here, then let the rest go. Okay, based on the monthly logic. Okay, so that is that for the currencies and indices. Today is Monday, so I'm kind of taking my time to go through the higher time frame. All right, AI16Z, that is the drawn liquidity, 0.3280. On the weekly, we rejected this high. Maybe they might come for this low before going up. It might print, because of this up candles here, it might print a reaccumulation, maybe a down candle this week to take out this low, then makes its way up there. On the daily, it's possible because they've traded through this down candle. So we might trade maybe down here into this gap, then resume going higher. Solana. So Solana has printed a down candle, hence, that means this down candle's low is going to be a draw on liquidity for them to attack it before resuming going higher. Ultimately, this monthly high is going to be taken, right? But it might need to come for this low first. So 140.40, run below that, rejection, then we make a run for 157.08. Bitcoin, same thing. We will go for the month high. Okay, they've already gone for it, so that makes it a little bit awkward. I think we spoke about this, that we needed this candle to close above it. The fact that they couldn't close, that's not a good thing. Let's see on the weekly. This is gonna make it a little bit awkward or challenging to analyze going forward. But based on the weekly, as you know, previous week high taken 92 92.89 or 92829.44. That is where price will be going for now, and then probably dip inside this fair value gap here, which comes in at 91685.18, and then we go back up. All right, it's not guaranteed. Okay, the fact that the monthly couldn't close above the previous month high is not really guaranteed in terms of higher prices. Okay, so it's gonna be very awkward, or very a little bit challenging to know what price is gonna do going forward. So just be careful, because what I was expecting did not happen. So that 144 level, we can put that to the sidelines for now, and then work with what we have here. Okay, Ethereum, let's go to the monthly first. So with Ethereum, that monthly high is also going to be a draw. On a weekly, same narrative. We rejected the previous week high, so they might come for this low first before resuming going back up again. Hence 1.736.9, 1736.97. Look for price to run for that low and then reject to go back up. Hype. So Hype eventually traded to our target, and so far it has rejected. On the monthly, we've gone for the high. All right, now again, going forward is going to depend on how Bitcoin is going to trade. Okay, let me remove all this. It's going to depend on how Bitcoin is going to trade. Luckily, we have a down candle here, so that's a good thing. We can use this low to this high as a range, and maybe take an OTE somewhere down here. So if we pull back to that area, which I think is likely, you're gonna be expecting a continuation to the upside. Okay, that will be what I'll be expecting going forward. For now, I think a sell is possible, so you can sell, put your stop loss above this high. So let me remove this. Put your stop loss above that high, and then aim for the 50% level. Right, that will be the best trade for now. Selling the up candle and then targeting somewhere here. XRP, I think, let's go to the monthly first. So based on the monthly, we are expecting this high as a draw. Weekly, we might need to take out this low, which comes in at 21235 level. We need price to take that low first and then reject and go for the previous month high. Essentially, we want them to form the low of the week, the low of the month. Okay. Tatsuo, similar narrative. It's gonna attack this low, 0.0014938. and then maybe a rejection to come for the previous week high and previous month high. Then Chachki, I think it's already run the previous week low, so maybe a rejection below this low can form and then reject and start coming back up. Okay, what this, because they've rejected the previous week low. For now, the fact that price was able to trade through this imbalance on a weekly basis, it gives it a strong buy signal where it can take out the low, reject, and then come back, because it's engineered this equal high. So we can reject and start coming back up. So what can actually happen down here is a consolidation. So watch this on the H4. Watch this gap here. Price needs to stay in there. If it closes below 0.00001533, then they will go for the lows. Maybe they will run the lows before reversing again one more time. So watch this gap. If price closes through it, then it will take out this low. For now, what I want to see is the rejection and start coming back up again. Okay, so that is that for today. I think I've done the high time frame, so you can actually be patient and then wait for an entry based on all the pairs that I've covered, especially ES. Wait for 2 p.m. and then I think Australian dollar, that's a good one. Those are the two good pairs for, and then hype for the sell to come down here. Those are the three good trades if you're gonna trade today. The rest just requires patience. Okay, so that is that from me. I'll see you all tomorrow. It's gonna be an interesting week, but we will see what we can do. So take care of yourselves, have fun, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.